Hi there guys, it's Aaron here from All Out Gaming. I'm here on the Gamescom show floor to bring you my thoughts on LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. So obviously, after the opening night live reveal trailer, I couldn't believe my luck. I doubt the world was crying out for another LEGO Batman game, but that trailer well and truly delivered. More Batman than you can imagine, more references than you can imagine, and a fully explorable LEGO-fied Gotham City with plenty to see and do. I got to go hands-on with the game for roughly an hour and a half, so a nice big chunk of the game there, and I have to say, while probably not as revolutionary as that initial trailer made it seem, it still looks to be a fun time, and most importantly, it's looking like it will get the studio TT Games back on track. The studio's last game, of course, was obviously LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and while ambitious in its design, obviously 9 movies, they're trying to LEGOfy at any one time, I do think it kind of was too ambitious for its own good. Dumbed down third-person combat, shrunken down ground level camera that didn't really work, and planets that just really didn't feel meaningful. I think it's fair to say that the last game wasn't as beloved as previous LEGO Star Wars games. However, having now got to play the new LEGO Batman game for the first time, I have to say it's a very different story here. I feel like with this game, TT Games is doing great service to not only the previous 4 Batman games that they made previously, not forgetting LEGO DC Supervillains of course, they're also paying tribute to Batman as a whole. It just so happens that this version is rendered in LEGO. So for my extended hands-on demo, I got to try 2 portions of the game. The first being a small segment of the open world version of Gotham you get to explore here called Tri-Corner. It was here in Tri-Corner where I got to play both as Batman and Jim Gordon, very much styled after the Jeffrey Wright Jim Gordon as featured in the Robert Pattinson The Batman movie, where we quickly got to task, taking these criminals down, finding sporadic events popping up throughout the world, finding collectibles. There aren't any mini kits in this game from what I can tell. They're now called Wayne caches. You go around the world exploring, trying to find them, collecting as many as possible, and each section of Gotham has a specific amount. So like I said, this game is still pre-alpha, it's not coming out until 2026, but already I can see the appeal of, at a ground level view, playing Batman and getting to explore this fully realized version of Gotham City. Although not a Batman Arkham game, speaking to some of the development team, they were very honest about, yeah, we took inspiration from Rocksteady's Arkham games, and you definitely feel that when exploring the open world. Obviously, you've got the L1 tap to grapple up to the nearest ledge, which is very Arkham Asylum coded. Then we also have the ability to glide around as the Bat as well, trying to find points of interest, tapping that R3 analog stick in order to scan the city for points of interest, and finding crimes just to go and take down and criminals to try and defeat. So like I said, for this portion of the demo, I got to try plenty of these challenges, and that mainly involved tracking down those Wayne caches, stopping criminals in their tracks, and engaging in that really satisfying counter-based combat system. That means you're dodging around as Batman using circle, combating and countering enemy attacks using triangle, except this time you're doing it as a LEGO-fied Batman. I'm not going to lie to you and say that it's as satisfying as that 2015 game Batman Arkham Knight, but you can definitely see the essence of the Arkham games running through here, making their way through into something equally as faithful to the Batman license and lore, but something far less serious. TT Games are being honest here in that their games are always intended for family audiences, and obviously that includes younger players, and it's very much the same here. If I had to compare LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight to any of TT Games' previous Batman games, it's definitely LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Having said that though, and you can probably tell this from the trailer, it is solely the Batman universe, which means we're not going to see Superman turn up here, we're not going to see Wonder Woman. There's plenty of lore left in Batman, and I honestly appreciate that, because after you set your game in Gotham City, after all, there's plenty of villains, there's plenty of henchmen to take down, and more importantly, there's plenty of vehicles to drive. So as part of this open world, if you tap up on the D-pad at any one time, you'll summon, what I could tell, it's meant to be like a randomized version of the Batmobile, so you might get the Tumbler, you might get Michael Keaton's version of the Batmobile there, but during my demo, anytime I summoned it, and maybe this is because it's obviously a pre-alpha build, it ended up being the Robert Pattinson Batmobile. So very sleek, very new, very modern, got a lot of grrr in the engine there, and I definitely felt that when bumping into an AR race opportunity event within the Tri-Corner section of Gotham. If I completed a lap, the holographic lap, the fastest, I would get the most studs. Studs here, it's a TT Games LEGO game, so you're constantly going to be bashing around finding stuff, but interestingly, because this is a 2-player co-op game as well, you can either play it locally or online or as single player, it does mean that you're always accompanied by a second character. In this instance, I was joined by Jim Gordon, and obviously you're grappling around as Batman, you're gliding around as Batman, it makes a lot of sense. But when you're playing as a character like Jim Gordon, you still need a way for the second player to be able to keep up with that movement style. So what have TT Games done? They've not given characters a completely different movement style. They've given Jim Gordon a grapple, but rather than obviously the bat wings he can use to glide, at any point he can pop out a sort of like police GCPD glider. It's very characterful in the animations because Jim Gordon's not traditionally someone you want to see gliding around Gotham City. So as you're using this paraglider as part of the demo in order to glide around to places, the animations you can see sort of like how nervous and bumbling around he is. It's really humor-filled in the way you'd expect from a TT Games Lego Batman game. So in addition to that open world section, I also got to play one of the main missions from the game, which was exclusive to press, not been played by anybody here on the Gamescom show floor. And it was roughly about 2 hours in the game. And again, we were playing as Batman and Jim Gordon, only this time we were chasing down the Red Hood gang within Ace Chemicals. Immediately, once you put in Red Hood and Ace Chemicals together, you can probably tell where this sort of arc is going. So obviously, you can tell from the opening night live trailer, this is a game that really wants to live up to the legacy of the Dark Knight. It's why it's called that. And that means paying tribute to the movies, the TV shows, but also the comics. And essentially, this one linear level I got to play worked out to be an interactive version of The Man Who Laughs, focusing on a certain Clang Prince of Crime's origin story. A lot of fun there. So yeah, the bulk of the main mission had us scouting around for these toxic bears that the Red Hood gang had been cooking up, scanning, completing puzzles. Each character is equipped with 2 different types of gadget, by the way. And Batman has his Batarang, useful for knocking out security cameras and also used in combat, as well as a grapple, which can be used to tug sort of lids off of sewage hatches and vault doors. It really comes in handy. Jim Gordon, however, has 2 different bullet types. The first being this sort of like sludge gun, whereby he can block harmful gases and water to sort of unblock pathways, while his second one works as a ricochet bullet that can be bounced around to trigger hard-to-reach buttons, and it works to make the characters feel both useful in the game, but in very different ways. So after tracking down the various toxic bears, we entered Ace Chemicals plant, and from here on out, it was all about engaging in that really satisfying counter-based Arkham combat, using circle to dodge the hulking enemies as well as the underling ones, and also triangle to sort of dodge the sort of bullets that are flying in from afar. So it's very Arkham coded in that way. I wouldn't say it's as in-depth as your standard Batman Arkham game, but then it doesn't have to be. It's a bit more surface level, but it's still a lot of fun. The end of the level, the end of the mission, culminated in a big chase sequence that had me as Batman and Jim Gordon chasing down Red Hood 1 before ultimately, and I'll say it now, spoiler alert, he fell into a vat of acid, unleashing a deck of cards and very much laughing, you know, very much quoting a rather famous quote from 1989 Batman movie. So honestly, TT Games know what they're doing here. They're paying tribute to the films, the TV shows, the comics as well. Essentially, if you're a Batman fan, I think you're going to appreciate this game, even if the gameplay itself isn't as revolutionary as maybe that initial trailer made it seem. It's not Lego Batman Arkham. It's a kind of sort of meeting point in the middle whereby TT Games has been inspired by Rocksteady's Arkham games, bringing it in with their Lego-fied formula. You're still smashing studs, you're still investigating and solving puzzles in that way, and sort of trying to find a perfect middle ground. So yeah, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. It's not the Lego game I expected, but one I can't wait, because honestly, guys, I'm hungry for an Arkham game. This doesn't quite hit that spot, but hey, the ability to explore a fully Lego-fied version of Gotham City alongside a friend with a game that really shows a lot of love for Batman in all its incarnations is fine by me. So anyway, guys, that just about does it for my hands-on impressions of Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight here from Gamescom 2025. Do you plan on picking this game up? Let us know in the comments section below. Then, when you've done that, why not leave this video a like and consider subscribing to the All Out Gaming YouTube channel to stay up to date with even more videos like this. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Batman.